Hi, I'm Ruben Saltzman with Structure Tech Home Inspections, and today I'm going to talk to you about a very common cause of a roof leak, which is a split boot at a plumbing vent. So on plumbing vents, there's two ways to flash them. And when I say flash them, I'm talking about installing a product around this pipe coming out of the roof that's going to help prevent water from leaking around the pipe. Now, in last week's video and last week's blog post, I already talked about the two-piece plumbing vent flashing kits. It's this frost-proof type that kind of goes over the top of the plumbing vent. But this week, we're going to talk about what might be a more common way of doing it. It's certainly less expensive, and it's where you simply have a piece of rubber. It's one piece like this, and this thing is just going to slip right down over your plumbing pipe, and it makes a nice tight seal around the pipe. And then the shingles get installed over the flashing and nothing leaks. It works very well until it doesn't. Over time, you've got the potential for the sun to basically decompose this piece of rubber, and it gets brittle and it cracks, and then water leaks in around it. We've seen it happen, I mean, dozens and thousands of times maybe. It happens constantly. So they have a limited life. Now, I know it says on this one particular manufacturer's website, this is made by IPS, they say they've got a warranty for the life of the roof, and that's wonderful, but there's a bunch of them out there that don't. So what do you do when you have this situation? There's a few different ways of dealing with it. Number one is, this is the most expensive way of dealing with it, and I'm not recommending this, but one is you could hire a roofer to come out and they would replace the entire piece of flashing. They'd remove the shingles and they'd pull the nails out of this thing, and then they'd put a new piece of flashing in. You could do that. Another option, which is a little bit more temporary, but I think still effective, is you could buy a replacement piece of rubber. This just slips over the existing one. And if you look carefully, this is the same thing that I've got on this other piece of flashing I was holding up. We've got these rings on here, these concentric rings, and the idea is this one piece of rubber is made for any size flashing. On the smallest ring, this is for 1.5 inch PVC or ABS or what have you, whatever type of pipe it is. Now, that's useless here in Minnesota because our plumbing code doesn't allow a 1.5 inch plumbing pipe to come up through the roof. The minimum diameter we allow is 2 inches, and that's to help reduce the potential for frost closure. But you remove the first ring here, and then you're left with a 2-inch ring, and so on. You remove the right size ring, and then it's going to slip down over the pipe. And really, once you've slipped this over the pipe, this is going to cover any cracks, and maybe you could use another little gob of sealant. It says right on here, you don't need to do that. I guess I'd feel more comfortable doing it, but you slip that down, and it's going to look something like this. Here's your original plumbing vent. You take this and you slip it over the existing pipe, and boom, that would work well. But again, manufacturer says that's a temporary repair. And then the third option, this is the one I think I like the most, is you install this device called a perma-boot. And it's a two-piece system. It takes like less than 60 seconds. And there's tons of videos out there. I'm just going to share another video that I boosted online. You can see how it looks. You just slip the collar over the existing pipe, and then you slip another piece of plastic on top. You put a little bead of caulk on there, and you're done. That's all there is to it. And those things are like 25 bucks. I had some split boots at my last house, and I put those on. It was a piece of cake to do it. It was just as easy as it looks in that video, and it's a long-lasting repair. It'll last as long as the life of the roof. So there's a few different options for fixing this. The few options that I would not recommend are to try to repair these splits with caulking or duct tape or roof cement or any goofy things like that. That's not going to get you there. And another piece of advice is check out your roof on a regular basis. If you can safely get up on your roof, then you can check on these plumbing vents. Those rubber boots do split over time. It's one of those things you don't want to end up with ugly leaks and stains on your ceiling, wrecking your ceilings. Check it out periodically. If you can, get on your roof once a year and inspect it and make sure you don't have these problems. Okay, that's all I got for you today. Again, I'm Ruben Saltzman with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.